This episode is brought to you by Indeed. Stop waiting around for the perfect candidate. Instead, use Indeed sponsored jobs to find the right people with the right skills fast. It's a simple way to make sure your listing is the first candidates see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs have 4 times more applicants than non-sponsored jobs. So go build your dream team today with Indeed. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Don't chew on that, Max.
Cooper loves that chew too.
Oh, now he's into Cooper's food. Wow, he is loving it. What do you feed Cooper?
Blue Buffalo Life Protection Formula. He never leaves a crumb. I love it because it's made with high-quality protein, nutrient-rich fruits and veggies, and wholesome whole grains.
Looks like we're switching to Blue.
Blue Buffalo foods are made with the superior ingredients your dog needs to thrive. Can your dog food say that? Visit feedbluefood.com to learn more.
Welcome to the Sportsman's Voice Roundup, your weekly look at conservation and sporting community news happening across the nation and on the Hill. Thanks for tuning in. This is the TSV Roundup. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to this week's edition of the Sportsman's Voice Roundup for the week of March 16th, 2026. It's St. Patty's Day week. Is that a thing? We get a whole week? Perhaps in my younger years, we gave a whole week. But nevertheless, yesterday was St. Patty's Day, and we're bringing you the news. Hopefully you got some time to don some green and enjoy the day. Some of you in the South have already donned that green. You're out chasing turkey. I find you to be the luckiest ones in the country. So congrats to those who are already afield and filling tags. Got a few stories for you this week. We're going to start off on a high, and it's going to drop off precipitously. I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm just at this point kind of exasperated a little bit, but we'll get through it. Ebbs and flows of the legislative session here, and we brought a lot of good news, and we'll start, and then catch you up on some things happen throughout the country. And then we can focus on turkey season because it is officially upon us in the states that are into it now. But anyway, our lead story this week is coming out of the Southeast from Connor Barker. We're going to Tennessee, where Hunter's ed in the school has passed and awaits the governor's signature. So I'll bring you that breakdown as our good friend Connor has got some well-deserved downtime right now. Terrible news out of New Hampshire as it concerned our push to amend the state constitution for right to hunt and fish. I'll give you the download on that. In the Midwest, Jake Gould brings us free and discounted license reimbursement that's working its way through Kansas. Not terrible, but also trying to prevent, as the audience knows how we feel about that and our efforts there. And then finally, we're going to Colorado, where many of you, if you've been on social, you know kind of what happened with the petition to do away with fur. We'll get into that from Nate Serlinson. Yeah, just wild times. So anyway, let's go to Tennessee. We'll start off with happier news. And that news is this: Senate Bill 2369 and House Bill 2588. Those were sponsored by Tennessee Legislative Sportsman's Caucus co-chair Senator Paul Rose, Representative Chris Todd, and caucus co-chair and National Executive Council member Representative Jesse Chisholm. These would allow schools to offer students in grades 5 through 12 a hunter education course as part of the student's physical education, health, or safety instruction curriculum. Last week, House Bill 2588 passed the House unanimously. That's awesome. And in the Senate Bill 2369, they subbed that for 2588 as their companion bills. So the legislation will soon be heading to the governor's Sportsman's Caucus member, governor's desk, Governor Bill Lee, for signature. That is great news. Gresham Sportsman's Foundation spearheaded the introduction of both bills and organized a coalition letter of support, which aligns 16 other sporting conservation organizations in support of the effort throughout the 2026 legislative session. It's pretty cool, as Connor says, out of the thousands of bills that are considered in Tennessee each year, only a small percentage become law each year. And thanks to the strong efforts made by the caucus, this important initiative successfully navigated the legislature and just needs a signature from Governor Lee. So, congrats to all involved there. And what's cool too for the kids is these bills will allow the kids to receive school credit and complete the mandatory hunter safety education curriculum that is required for all hunters. So, two birds, one stone, get some elective credits out of it. This is a great model that certainly is a policy priority for us at CSF and working with our state legislative sportsmen's caucuses and the NASC Executive Council and the NASC Network also are get behind these priority policies. And as we led off there with Connor's article, just highlighting the work of the caucus as well. And if you don't have it in your state, this is something that can be replicated, and it can be adjusted where it needs to be. And what's great about this language too, and this model is, this isn't one of these things where you have to do it. It's giving the schools, giving the kids an option. This stuff is available to them. The resources are available to them. So much of this stuff is already exists in your state fish and wildlife, fish and game, DNR. They already have this stuff. So getting those people to work together, education department, fish and game department, bringing those folks together and making this an option is just there's nothing but upside on this. So congratulations to Connor and all those involved. It's great to see the community, the conservation community come together, where they got onto that coalition letter and really putting those memberships for those membership organizations of the 16 people that signed on behind. So, when you see those logos, especially for the membership organizations, that speaks volumes to these legislators. And as you can see, that bore good results in Tennessee. So, Connor, wherever you are, congratulations. Hope you're enjoying your downtime. All right, let's give you the update here on New Hampshire's right to hunt and fish. As I said on the top, it was dealt a disappointing blow at the risk of I want to take the emotion out of it because obviously as a New Hampshire resident, and you guys have heard me talk about this a lot, uh, personally, lot invested in here in this one. Thinking about my kids, potential grandkids, and knowing what's going on across the country on the West Coast and where where you have states that don't have hunting, fishing, trapping, archery, hounding, bear hunting, bear baiting, whatever it is, cat hunting, where those traditional methods of take and fishing and hunting are not protected constitutionally, they are up for grabs. We had one legislator cite that New Hampshire already has the right to hunt and fish, which in statute, which is far easier to undo by a majority of the legislature, unlike a constitutional amendment where we needed the three-fifths of the entire body in the House and in the Senate. Unfortunately, we didn't get to the Senate. Um, we were short on numbers in the House. Um, that's a fact. I'm just going to leave it at that. We got pretty close, and what was remarkable, really, and some of the silver linings here is the coalition building we did up here, like really getting all sorts of people from all backgrounds involved. We did a couple social media campaigns that were extremely effective, and I just, I want to thank some folks here while I have the time. The New Hampshire Wildlife Federation, the sportsmen's clubs locally that got involved, Cuz Strickland, who helped spread the word, NWTF New Hampshire, Fur Takers of America, Greg Ritz from Thompson Center, the hunt master himself early on, Gabby Hoffman, Scotty Lago, my buddy here in New Hampshire, Olympic snowboarder. Emily Cram, dear friend of mine, NWTF storyteller, influencer. And again, FTA, President Jason Wisniewski put together a real nice reel, getting the word out there. Jana Waller, Skullbound. Thank you, Jana. Hal Blood, local legend, deer tracker, Big Wood Buck got together with us. He put the word out. Jake DeBow of New England Naturals, who just does such a bang up job of just educating on everything, primarily trapping and fur handling. But Jake and his wife are just awesome. They got involved. The Origin Foundation also stepped up pretty big. And then, what was really, really cool is getting to engage, I say all sorts of stakeholders here. Union Sportsmen's Alliance, if you've never heard of them, they are a membership based nonprofit sporting organization where they work with organized labor, a lot of your AFL CIO building trades and service unions. Um, Through that connection, we got involved with the New Hampshire AFL CIO. This is over 40,000 members just in New Hampshire alone, with President Brackett there, um, sending out messaging to their entire membership, messaging to the Democratic caucus, asking them, the minority, come over and help, coupled with USA emailing their membership and sharing this stuff out socially. It all worked. We got the numbers we would need from the minority caucus to join, um, with the majority in the House. And unfortunately, like I said, there were a handful of folks that just didn't show up, and had it not been for those folks, we were knocking on the door. So anyway, I've taken more time on this than I should have, but because I was there and had a big hand in this with all our partners, I bring it to you and let you know. So we're not done with this. Um, we will bring it back. Um, where we fell victim to some serious partisan efforts of trying to separate, making this a partisan issue, a large um, misinformation and smear campaign were employed right there on the House floor. Matter of fact, there was a member that just kind of not kind of just like went off the rails and just made stuff up. It was pretty remarkable. It was really just remarkable. I just couldn't believe what I was hearing. So, at any rate, we got lots of lesson learned and lots of silver linings out of this. Truly, I mean that. And we come back bigger, stronger, and swinging harder on this the next time it comes up. So, that's it from New Hampshire. We'll keep you posted on our efforts into the future. In the Midwest, like I said, Jake Gould is working a reimbursement issue for free and discounted licenses. That has been heard in Kansas. This is going through the process. This is House Bill 2543, and it would reimburse the Kansas Department of Wildlife and Parks for the lost revenue from the legislature's future issuance for any free discounted hunting and fishing licenses. Again, a top priority for us policy wise. So good to see Jake on the job out there and working that through. And hopefully we get a good update from him. Finally, like I said, at the top, some more. We're ending on bad news. But again, this is, like I said, this is the ebb and flow. So the fur ban in Colorado advanced in the Parks and Wildlife Commission despite heavy opposition. And you go back to the 24 election cycle, where we had the ballot initiative 127 trying to stop all cat hunting. Right there locally in Colorado, they tried this as well, a fur ban, and it was voted down resoundingly right along with 127. Folks listening to the state agency and their biologists, and just really educating wildlife council there in Colorado, one of two that really works well. So anyway, Nate Sterling on the ground there and brings us some notes here. He, representing CSF, gave oral testimony in opposition to the citizens' petition to ban the commercial sale of wildlife furs, considered by the CPW Commission, centering our objections around the North American model of wildlife conservation and the lack of science supporting this action. Despite widespread opposition, the commission voted 6-4 to approve the petition and bring it into rulemaking, where it will move through the commission's established process for rulemaking over the next 2 meetings. The citizens' position was wrought with legal, scientific, and ethical issues, and still has a long way to go before it officially becomes rule in Colorado. Yeah, it's just covered a lot on a bunch of topics on this program, but it's just like these agencies go through a lot of trouble hiring the professionals, the people with the backgrounds, the people with the educations that can speak on this. And they present it, and there are still people that are just digging in their heels, and it turns into a real social issue. They ignore the science, and these people kowtow to some very loud, very small group of fanatics, and you end up with some results like this, results like we had in New Hampshire. So the fight continues. This one's not over yet, and definitely, if you're in Colorado, you need to get involved. I mean, the commission, they may do what they do, but you put enough pressure on them, they may reconsider their actions. So uh, there's always opportunity to get involved, even if it's not a listening session. You can still show up in mass and make a presence, make yourself heard visually or otherwise. So all these articles, as always, can be found on congressionalsportsman.org, congressionalsportsman.org. There, you can do the deep dives, as I say always, the in-article links. Go check these things out, get more information, see any footnotes, citations, do additional research. It's a great tool. It's free to you. All you got to do is plug in your email, so you get the EPUB every Monday or Tuesday if there's a holiday. We don't spam you. You can feel safe about giving us the primary email. We just want you to have this information in your hand. While you're there, you can check out our collection of position papers. Our issue brief book is a beautiful publication, especially for you legislators who are tuning in. Very specific items in there that you may be dealing with, federal issues as well as state level issues, like this that Nate reported on, like Right to Hunt and Fish, like the reimbursement models. So, again, free to you, great product. Flip through pages. It's really well done, and encourage you to check that out. All right, that's it for this show. We're gonna bring you guys our feature episode tomorrow. This is the first quarter federal policy update. You will hear from Taylor Schmitz, Chris Horton, and John Colclaser for their respective portfolios of federal policy, fisheries policy, federal wise, and our forestry update. So good stuff happening there. And then we just continue on, man. Some states have already closed up. We're in the middle of some. A couple just got started not too long ago. So we're kind of in I'd say on average the middle, but we're coming close to the end on these states, and it's just going fast. I can't believe we're already past St. Patrick's Day. So here we go. For those of you in the field, continued success, have fun, be safe out there, and get home to your families. As always, CSF is your inside connection to outdoor legislation. We'll see you tomorrow for the feature. So long. Thanks for joining us on this edition of the Sportsman's Voice podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, your support is crucial, and you can help us out right now by leaving a review, filling in those 5 stars where available, sharing this episode with friends and family, and engaging with us socially. CSF can be found on Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly known as Twitter.
Together, we can protect the outdoor sports we love and continue to keep you informed wherever you are. That's it for this week. Until next time, we'll see you later.